Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hey guys, welcome to another
You're good.
episode of the Jedi Academy. You got Noah, Jedi Master Tuck, and Padawan Frito. How we all feeling tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Ready to
Absolutely.
discuss some Bad Batch.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
ready to get into this, man.
Alrighty, well, Don's going to roll the thumbnail, and after that, we'll get into a good discussion.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Take two.
I thought you were
Take
good.
two. Take two. Yes, please join our mission to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Like that, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for the notifications.
And we're back.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start off with episode 8. Episode 8's The
Yep.
Conspiracy?
Yes, episode 8 is
Yeah.
finishing off where they're dealing with finally the Bad Batch come on to Coruscant. Yes, Coruscant.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
want to make
right.
sure I got the episode title correct. So, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the conspiracy? How'd you feel about it as a whole?
Yeah. I mean, overall, it makes the last episode better for me for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, and I still like the last episode. But
Mhm.
yeah, these two together play very, very well for sure. For sure. So yeah, I will say that.
It's definitely a nice little story arc where we get to see someone actually on the clone side and them, being faced with an assassin and all these adversities. They're still like, nope, I have a fight here in the Senate. I've got to make sure that this gets through. And, even with her at the ending of the episode, basically being like, I fell right into the emperor's trap, and now his bill is passed, and he has his scapegoat. Even still, she's like, I'm not going to be discouraged. I'm still have the clone's best interest at heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that you guys said that, like, when you cut off at episode 7, you were left wondering more.
Sure.
Do you think that this episode helped tie in that kind of arc for you
Yeah.
guys? It made a lot more sense once you watched.
At least for what they were going for these two
Yeah.
episodes. Yeah, for sure. It definitely ties everything in for sure.
And it definitely gave a more light to the political side of things as well.
Mhm.
You kind of like
Which I
the
always
chess
love.
moves. The chess moves where you see.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of Senator? Why can't I think of his name?
Palpatine?
Not Palpatine. No. The
Oh,
senator
Chi-Chi.
that helps
Not
her.
Chi-Chi.
Yeah, no.
yeah.
He's in every movie. I can't. Mine is.
Bail.
Bail.
Yes.
Senator
Organa.
Organa. Yep.
Senator
Organa.
Organa. Thank you.
Organa, yeah.
I was like, I can't remember Organa.
I was like, wait a minute,
But
what
yes,
are you talking about?
even
Yeah,
showing
what are
like
you
the shadow meetings between Organa and her, and like
Sure.
the inner workings of what the Senate actually was, where people are against everyone no matter what they say or what they're about. Like everyone's all, kind of all about themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this is my favorite part about Star Wars. It really is. It is when the politics is done right, it's really good.
Yeah.
The problem is the politics in the prequels sucks. It really
Yes.
does. The politics part sucks. So
They got
but
the
when it's
action
done
right.
Yeah.
And that's why I
So-
think they use Clone Wars to go back in and kind of explain that a little more.
For sure.
Because I mean, look, there's so much going on behind the scenes that we just don't see or know about.
Yeah.
And so when we get to explore that, it's really fun. I just think it's a really cool part of Star Wars that we don't get to see enough of.
As the Bad Batch as a whole, I wish they would, like, even with these filler episodes, I wish just like tie them together, do more of these like two-parter episodes,
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Instead of
I
just like
don't think
going in a journey.
And again,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if these are because I wouldn't consider these two filler episodes. I think these are
Oh,
definitely
no, I
going to
think
be
they're
I
brought
think they're
on.
really important to adding to
Yes,
the
I think
story.
it's,
Yeah.
I think these two are those 7 and 8 as a whole are definitely going to be important later on. I feel
Yeah.
like we're definitely going to see more of Chuchi. Like that's definitely not going to be the last we're going to see of her. And obviously, I'm hoping Rex and Echo come back into the fold at some point in this season. Just because it's
Did you expect it to be Rex? I thought it might be Cody.
I thought it was going to be Cody too, just because we've gotten a lot of Rex in Rebels, parts of
Well,
Bad
they made a
Batch
big deal
already.
about him being back in this season too. Cody being back in this season, so that's why I just assumed it was going to be him.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be a rando. I did not expect.
Oh, really?
It. Yeah, I was just like not sure who they were meeting. I was even thinking like a Jedi, a Jedi in hiding.
Sure.
See,
But yeah,
one reason why I didn't think that is because he was still a normie clone, so Order 66 would still be
that's
programmed
true.
in him. So like he would still be like, if Jedi's out there, he's got to die.
Right.
Okay, so what was your guys' favorite moment of episode 8?
I mean, for me, like I said, I've already said it. It's the politics, just in general. Just seeing how the inner workings and how they're playing kind of behind the scenes, and I love that stuff. So yeah,
I think my favorite part was probably when General, what is his name? I'm drawing blanks on everyone's names tonight. The general who kind of they basically blamed it all on. Like when that finally came to fruition, and like he was like, "Yo, get off me, get up!" Like that moment was just perfect for me. Like it was just the cherry on top of the the cake.
Well, and Palpatine showing up.
No, that was my favorite because as this episode's going on, I'm like, they're not gonna let them. He's not gonna let them let the clones get a say. I'm like, this is Emperor Palpatine's world, and just for that reveal and him to twist what they were trying to do, like, yep, this was the guy's fault, exactly. Like we didn't have anything to do with it. Arrest that man. I'm just like, oh my goodness, like
in true Palpatine fashion.
Yeah. Exactly.
Papa Palps.
Papa Palps coming in for the fucking ass whooping.
Yeah. That was
He gives no Fs. He gives no Fs at all.
Yeah, that whole scene where he finally raises up from the center of the floor and they take him off, that it was just so well done, especially since they hadn't shown Palpatine
in a
at
while.
all in those they haven't really. I think, did we get him at all? I think we did get him.
I think we got him in the previous season a little bit.
In the previous season a little bit, and then we haven't seen him since, and especially since we were dealing with all the politics and we hadn't seen him. I thought it was a very nice ramp up to be like, oh, now he's finally he's coming down to the floor and putting his foot down.
I'm still surprised we never got him in Andor, because in Andor, that would have been the perfect place to bring Ian McDermott back to play him. Just have him in the background, like speaking at the Senate. Not even like a real cameo.
Just him, not even really doing.
Like, is he voicing Emperor Palpatine in the?
Not in this episode. No.
Okay.
No.
But no, I was gonna say, as you see him rise up, you're just like, I'm like, something's about to go down.
Absolutely. You knew shit was hitting the fan.
Yeah.
You knew shit was hitting the fan at that moment.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you're not bringing Palpatine into it without there being
some real Palpatine drama. Ain't coming out until there's drama.
Taking no for an answer.
Oh, that's
he's not going to come out and be like, "Oh no, I think the clones were right. I should side with
Palpatine as Papa Palp." Like there is no other way.
Thrown around on the web, and I'm like, yes,
that is the first I'm hearing it, and it's that's
Papa
so
Palps.
Awesome. Papa Palps.
They call him.
I just call him Palps. Good old Palps.
Oh, that's great. But those two episodes all together were just very well done. And the fact the fact that they didn't show the senator all the entire time, and to be honest, the fact that they actually didn't have the Bad Batch in the first episode,
it was fine. I thought
in the second one, I actually think it worked out way better, because I feel like if the Bad Batch was a part of the first episode, it wouldn't have worked as well, because it wouldn't have gone too much into the story of what's happening in the Senate.
Sure. Yeah.
And I like
agree
I don't.
completely with that. Yeah,
They made you
for
just
sure.
care enough about Senator Chochi, to not make the
Yeah.
entire show about her, which I thought was really well done.
Yeah. Where you just had enough invested in her and what she was doing that you were just like, I kind of need to figure this out. I need to know what she's doing here.
Yeah. That's why at the end of the last week episodes, I was like, just wait. You guys will like this next episode.
Yeah.
Now, when I was ranking them, do you agree that this episode 7, episode 8, and then the week prior's episode are top 3 so far?
With what was the
Gungi?
week prior? Gungi? Okay,
Yeah. I think so.
I think they're the most strongest
So
episodes
far,
of the
yeah,
season so
definitely.
far.
For sure. I would definitely say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you guys disliked about this episode?
Not really, to be very honest. Like
Yeah,
there
I mean,
weren't
this
very
episode
many
was really tight.
shortcomings.
It was
really
there was
well
a lot
done.
of there was a within a 2 episode span there was quite a few surprises that they threw in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which was nice because it was pretty dull up until
us finding out the assassinator was another clone.
Yeah.
Us finding out that Rex was the one coming in to save them. Her, and then finally showing the scent. Like all these things were very well done and well placed in the 2 episode span. That I couldn't really say one bad thing about it.
There's nothing that really sticks out to me where I'm like, oh, that I could have done without.
Like this was dumb or this was boring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm really hoping that they go more into this the clone assassin, into his origin. So hopefully it gets more explained in the 10, 7 remaining episodes.
Maybe he doesn't have a chip.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he doesn't have, or maybe his chip isn't working too. I mean, there are clones that their chip isn't working.
Maybe it's a new chip. Maybe he's just bred bad.
The assassin.
The assassin. Oh, the assassin. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's just working on his own, or like a bounty hunter.
They've also brought in people. The Caminos. Remember, they saved the Camino scientists who.
Yeah, there's like
there
3 of them floating around.
So there could be someone who's altering the chips inside of them.
Exactly.
There could be, because they very well made it known that they have saved those scientists.
It could be chips, DNA splicing, or just brainwashing them. So I hopefully they
Also, why aren't they trying to free random clones like that?
Yeah. I mean, they know these. Maybe they don't know where the facilities are.
Are you talking about the Bad Batch themselves?
Yeah, like when they run into these clones, why wouldn't they try to free them from?
Well, remember they tried. They tried getting through to the clone, but he's like nope, and then he took that pill.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I just hit him with the gun and take him to the thing where they got theirs removed.
Yeah.
He's like, you're getting this removed without fucking your consent.
Which I'm surprised.
The only reason I say it that way is because to them that's their brother. I mean, that still is their to them. That's
100%.
So that's the only reason I say it that way, where they would just be like, I don't care about the niceties. I'm just going to knock you out. I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to knock you out and free you.
But with Captain Rex, I'm surprised that they didn't take more precautions and were maybe a little more rougher with him, because it's war, man. Why? I don't know that I would have shown that as much restraint as he did. I'd be like, you go tell me or else,
Sure.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But like you said,
they can't get away with that.
At the end of the day,
that's true.
But at the end of the day, it's still his brother, So I feel like there's still that kind of compassion behind it, where he's just like, I'm not going to go full on you need to fuck. Where is he? Where is he? No, it's like, dude, I'm here to.
Why did you say that name? Why did you say
that? But it's stuff like that where I feel like he just needed to be he was still trying to show that compassion, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
And
no, it makes sense. It makes sense.
I know we kind of briefly touched on it earlier, but so far, where would you guys have ranked these 2 episodes?
No, yeah, like you said,
so far,
I would definitely put probably like the setup.
I think these
just
two
because of the
together
setup.
are
Yeah,
good.
that's
carrying the show.
These two, like, I don't want to almost, because like one doesn't make sense without the other, so it's kind of like
Sure.
I almost want to make these 7 and 8 one episode,
if
you will, and place that at number 1, because I want to put
think them
number
2
8,
together
but
is 1
without
and 2,
7
and
it
then,
doesn't make sense.
right.
Does that,
could we have like not had all the other fillers and just had maybe maybe the intro, the Gungi episode, and these episodes alone,
Yeah.
To be fair,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It does feel like there is a lot more filler,
a lot of fluff. Yeah.
In this show overall.
Don, I think you mentioned it prior too. Like you'd rather have quality over quantity.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you'd rather shorter seasons with a lot of episodes back to back that are like this.
And like the thing is like Clone
sure.
Wars gave us a lot of filler, but they also but I feel like they at that point they actually did give us enough quantity where it was okay.
It was okay, yeah. But
because
you knew,
at that point,
but
it was
I also
like an
kind
anime.
of understand a little bit Clone Wars, because usually the filler episodes were like right after a big mission.
Yeah.
Then we got to. There's a filler episode that gets us to the next mission,
or whatever.
Then the next episode is the mission again, and
right.
So it was more of they used the sort of filler episodes to sort of tell littler stories and just kind of fill time gaps as far as like travel and things like that.
See, but like, and that's where I was saying,
where this is just like this is random stuff happening. Like they're just going to random places, doing random things. And
see, like, and this is why I feel like the Clone Wars I look at more of like an anime style like show, because they gave us a lot of content over a span of seasons, a lot of episodes. Yes, there was filler, but it was consistent, whereas the Bad Batch has been more of like what's the monster of the week kind of deal. Where are we going now? And that's where I feel like the two are extremely different.
Yeah, and I think too with Clone Wars, you kind of knew like, okay, this took place between episodes 2 and 3. So I mean, I guess you kind of knew it had to end, but you knew where they were going, and you knew that each episode was going to be a continuation for a little while. With the Bad Batch, we kind of got episode 1, and we were okay without it. Like second season, and now we're like, okay, where are they going? So maybe it's a sense of unknown that we're not really sure with what they're doing.
I was like, speaking of filler episodes.
Yeah.
I was like, speaking of filler episodes, does anyone else feel like 9 was?
For sure.
Yeah. So you guys want to transition into episode 9 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything in this episode sucks.
I actually like, not gonna lie, I kind of like this world. Like as we were going in, I kind of like the old Western feel to it. It was like an old Western within Star Wars. So for me, I was like,
it definitely had that feel. I'll give you, it had that feel.
I don't think we've seen this planet before, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
So like with this episode 9,
okay.
I feel like,
was it called The Crossing?
Yes,
something like that.
It's called The Crossing.
I'm not sure why though. I don't really understand the name.
I think maybe because they were finally like butting heads, and it was kind of a crossroads.
They're crossing
for the
line,
team.
maybe. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like maybe that was their logic behind it, but
or like the cross, like when you get crossed with somebody. I don't know.
I don't understand why they would spark conflict in the team that's never been there before, has never been introduced before,
right?
And all because Omega's sad. And now everyone, like,
that's it. That's
to be fair, like, yes, Tech and Wrecker were like bickering, but like we've never seen that before.
No,
we've never seen the team be like I think like high schoolers almost, where they were
they give each other shit a lot, but it's not like that.
Yeah. Well, I think the older clones, they understood what was going on, but Omega, like, I feel like this episode was really important for her character development, like her still being young-ish, like didn't know how to process her emotions, which I know is stupid, but
no,
it was good for her character development.
No, I 100% get it, but like I said,
I just don't like the way like. Go ahead.
Sorry. No. Continue.
I'm sorry. I just don't like the way they handled the characters. That's all I'm gonna say. I just don't like the way they handled the characters in this episode, particularly.
I was okay with
what we know of them.
I was okay with it. I think.
Okay, and I mean that's fine.
No,
I just thought it was stupid how they left their ship unattended. Like it wasn't booby trapped. Like you're telling me there's no electric pulse you could have for like someone that goes.
Right.
There's
and
no
like
alarm.
shock them, like nothing. Like come on,
yeah, you're not walking up to the Slave One without getting messed up.
You're supposed to be one of the elitist like clone trooper groups, and you're just going to leave your ship unattended.
Yep. No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't like. I enjoy that they gave Omega and Tech that little moment in the ravine.
That was a good moment. Yes, that was a good moment. Of course.
But to me, I don't think the dynamic of the Bad Batch was there. Like, yes, I get it. Echo is not there, so like they're off, and I guess maybe that's what they're trying to show.
Yeah. Right.
But it should, not to be an ass, but Echo was not part of the original Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Like,
it wasn't.
I feel like they should have been more like that when Crosshair left than when Echo left, because Crosshair has been their brother since day fucking one. Echo was picked up probably at this point maybe 5 years ago. Right. Like it's not even like he's been with them for extended periods of time, and I feel like the headbutting, especially from Tech would have been more analytical about things and just not like Wrecker's going to be Wrecker and I'm not going to engage this. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see the actual dynamics of the Bad Batch.
I think this episode they were trying to give Tech, like show him more than just a computer. You know, they're trying to give him emotion. And I feel like that's what they did a good job of doing in this episode.
And yes, that's why I say I like the moment at the end in the ravine and everything. But and I get like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm just being too analytical.
I don't know. Again, for me overall, I'm thinking they don't feel like the same characters I just watched.
The season one,
the Coruscant.
Okay.
Well, just the last episode.
Yeah.
And like I said, they didn't. It's not even like they planted a seed of like, oh, this is gonna escalate. Like, oh, they're starting to butt heads over little things in this episode. Okay, they're butting over a little bit more this episode. Okay, now this has gotten into every mission, everything is just man. Like, but no, it was just out of nowhere. Now they're not like really running as smooth. And they're
so now like everyone's leaving their group. So I wonder by the end their justification. Maybe they come back for one episode. You know, maybe everyone comes back, but I feel like maybe the way they're going to justify the Bad Batch, they go their separate ways and they're just out there by themselves. You know, maybe Hunter and Omega are somewhere together.
And also, like, where the fuck is Crosshair?
Yeah. How many? It's been like what 3-4 episodes without.
Where the fuck is he?
Dude, they don't even care about him anymore. Like, they don't even mention him anymore.
If they don't wrap this up.
They brought him up in this episode. They brought him up in this episode when she, mentioned his name about how like he doesn't care about them leaving and stuff like that. But like him, Gungi, like you are just bringing up and let me finish this thought and I got one more thing. But like you're just bringing up these characters and these plot lines, and you have not. We are more than halfway through the season, and so far the only coherent episodes are 7 and 8, and they make sense as a whole, and like they can stand on their own. They have a story to it. As of right now, I still can't tell you what the overall story is to this. I don't know what their end goal is. And I don't know what's going to happen at just zero clues, and that's
it's cool
just the frustrating
these different things, which I think we can all agree that we love. But like, what is the overarching story? Like, and maybe they wrap it up in. How many episodes we got left? 6?
It's just
I think it's 7, right? Aren't we doing? Isn't it 16 episodes?
Yeah, it's 16 episodes.
Yeah, so we have 7 left.
We got 7 left. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So we're right over halfway through the season.
And how many good episodes have we had so far?
I honestly want to say 3 or 4.
So you figure 4 more fluffers and the last 3 episodes are going to be.
Man, I hope not. I hope not.
Is anyone else really excited for Mandalorian?
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, I love this art style. I love the Bad Batch, but the overall storytelling so far.
Look, I still like the show overall, but
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
What it popped into my head, what I really did enjoy, they did finally fucking plant a seed for some kind of mistrust between Sid and them.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So that little, so that's finally
good.
where I feel like that's going to be the breaking point for, or what starts the catalyst for their not being friends and working together anymore.
Right.
Well, it's going to go 2 ways, I think. Either Sid's ship's going to come, or they're going to find their ship. And then they're going to go back to Sid really pissed off.
If Sid, if it's just Sid gets them a ship and everything's fine and dandy, I'm be a tad annoyed.
Yeah.
Be a tad.
Yeah, I hope they go through this long journey, and maybe by the end of the next episode, they find their ship. They go back to Sid and be like, "What the frick? We were your crew. We did everything for you." And yeah, I guess they failed, but I mean, they're risking their life and limb for her.
But like they said, they saved her.
Yeah. They cleared the debt with that guy,
and then they saved her fucking business.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
It's like, what else do you want from them?
Sure, right.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel like that might
it's
have
hard,
important for the end. That might tie in. But again, they got to tie up Crosshair's story. They got to somehow tie off Commander Cody.
Man. Yeah.
If they just Commander Cody walked away, like what kind of ending is that for us?
And still to even just introduce Gungi for one episode, and nothing, I'd be really, really upset by that.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so weird. We got episode 7 and 8, and then this is what they followed that up with.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you think you would want to come out with another swing? Like, you know what I mean?
Because you can't tell me it was still a filler episode. And that's what bums me out. As much as it had some decent moments to it, it was a filler episode. Unless it in the end it ties everything together and we finally it all makes sense every episode. It's like we said, 3 or 4 episodes and everything else has been filler.
Yeah, and again, I just don't feel like this episode at all had anything to do with the overarching story, if there is whatever that is.
It was more just character development.
Yeah.
Which I think
that's what's disappointing to me.
Could have been fine without. But I mean, I see why it's important. But I think for us, we want to see a little more action. And maybe
it's just because at this point we know these characters. I mean, it's not like we need we need the story. Like now is the time you got.
But to a younger audience, the story might not be as important, and that's what Disney is, I guess, trying to be more geared towards. So,
but also, if that's the case, what is the story? If that's the case, please, Disney, explain to me what the fuck you're trying to show me. I mean, even I still don't know.
At least when I was a kid, I loved a good story. And if I was a couple years younger, I think right now I'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah. The Clone Wars, it wasn't the most complicated ever, but there was they had a story that they were telling from beginning to end. I mean,
yes,
and they kept enough
whether
action
the kids
to
understood
keep
it or
interested.
Not. Yes. Yeah. Right. So you can still make that balance, but this just feels like
all over the place.
When we get, I said last week, when we get there, it's gonna be awesome, but you have no idea what.
But I
don't know how to watch this.
At this point, my hope with every episode, my hope got a little bit better with 7 and 8, and then it just crashed down in 9 with this season.
You guys want to know the sad part?
What?
Is let's say you didn't watch it 1 through 9, you could jump in anywhere and it'd be fine. That's the sad part.
That's honestly true. That honestly true. The only thing that, unless you watched 8 before 7, that's the only thing that still probably wouldn't make sense.
Right.
It just feels like Jedi Tales. There you go. Just a bunch of random stories now, and we're just like, what do they have to do in relation together? other than the same characters.
I mean, like I said, I kind of, I guess, understand what they're trying to say or the story they want to tell, but it just feels like they're not getting there. Like they're just not, you know what I mean? Like they're almost there, but they're not there. They're just not there, and they don't.
What's the story in your opinion?
I was gonna say, please, Don. Jedi Master.
I think the story is Omega. I mean, I think the story ultimately is Omega and the cloning. Like I think that's what it's gonna. It's gonna be about the cloning, and it's gonna be about Palpatine. I think that's what they're going towards. But again, I can't guarantee that. I can't.
I was going to say, but they haven't given us, even in the first season, they gave us maybe 2 episodes that related to the cloning and Omega, like truly Omega. And then this season,
is me guessing because I know Filoni so well, and I know how much he wants to fix anything Star Wars that people hate, because he literally loves Star Wars.
But doesn't this make us like angry with it right now? So does this make your confidence shaky? In
I will say this: Filoni single-handedly has changed the minds of a lot of people in the prequels because of Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay.
Well,
he has single-handedly turned a lot of people.
So you think he single-handedly saved the franchise?
Not quite. I wouldn't say that overstated, but yeah, in a way, because if he could do the same thing for the sequel trilogy, as much as people hate the sequel trilogy,
he's got a lot of work with that.
Oh, he's got a lot of work. No, don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of work, especially for me, because you will never explain to me Luke Skywalker turning. Anyway, not turning, but you know what I mean. Anyway.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that could be for. We can go into why we hate the sequels in another video.
Yeah, no, we won't do that today. I'm just saying. Anyway, but if he can at least explain why Palpatine is still around, then maybe it's worth it. Maybe this show is worth it. I don't know.
Wait, because what do you mean by Palpatine still around?
Well, that he cloned himself and came back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Because it really never really explained why or how.
Yeah.
So I said, I think that's what Filoni's doing right now. Because if you think Mandalorian, that we saw the early Snoke attempts on that ice planet when they broke into the facility, and then now we're this whole show is about cloning, if you want to say that. I mean, again, I don't know.
We don't know, and by the end of the season, it could still be these bunch of jumbled.
Dude, this could be literally about how they found out about Palpatine being Emperor or being a Sith Lord, and he just kills him at the end. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah. We don't know. And if the ending's bad, we will be here talking about it and venting. But then again, if the ending,
I have a question for you too, though. So far, where we are, a little bit past halfway through the second season. Sorry, do you think there's a chance in hell we get a third?
Unless these last 7 episodes can really make sense
killer
of everything and are just, I will say, okay, if the next 5 out of the 7 are home runs, maybe.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Maybe. If the next 5 of 7 are home runs, maybe. If not,
only one of them is the finale. Only if one of those 5 is the finale. Because if 5 out of the 7
if they flop the finale, if they
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Be mad.
But 5 out of 7 episodes, if they're good, I agree.
But can I say something? I was going to say, I don't think that because when did Omega get introduced? The end of last season, right?
No, she got introduced
it was 3rd or 4th episode last season.
It was pretty early on in the
first. She was introduced like the first or second.
I don't see them killing her, them off, because I feel like she's a really popular new character. So I feel like in my bones, even though I hate it, I feel like they will somehow drag this into a 3rd season. But I wish that Filoni would have just, pushed this back and gave us quality over quantity. Because I think he was doing this and Mandalorian at the same time. Like, okay, if you're putting this to other writers, just push it back so you can give us a well-rounded story,
100%.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to do this type of stuff again. I think this is where Filoni feels most comfortable, is in this animated style that he loves to do, and I think he just wanted to do this again. And
So he's a
he
writer,
really
right? He's
didn't.
not he's the producer, right?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
basically the lead creative. I mean, that he comes up with, at least for these stories. I mean, he's not lead creative of Lucasfilm, but Clone
Yeah.
Wars, Rebels, all that's him. Yeah.
Then if you trust him,
Yeah.
Don, then since you're the Jedi Master amongst our group, then I guess we gotta
I
trust you
trust
that
Filoni.
he'll
I just
get us
don't know how much
he'll get us there.
Kathleen Kennedy. I just don't know how much Kathleen Kennedy has her finger in his, on top of him,
I thought she was supposed to
because
be
she's
getting out of
technically
it
ahead
because
of
of how
above
bad
him.
the. So you think every
I can
episode,
only
whatnot,
hope.
has to be approved by her?
Oh hell no, no, he wouldn't say that. No, I
I
don't
was
think
gonna
it's
say, if
that
that's
bad,
the
but
case,
I
that
just don't
definitely
know how
explains
much
the
she lets
episodes.
him
Yeah,
do.
that explains the dog doo-doo
Well,
episodes we've
yeah.
been getting.
The only reason I say that is because, like, Mandalorian was supposed to be Boba Fett, but she put a stop to that immediately and said no. And then they did the Mandalorian instead. So who knows how much she is and isn't allowed to say to him.
Yeah.
So,
I just know after the flopping of the sequels, which she had everything to do with, everyone's just like, get her the heck
everything to
out of
do
here
with. I
because we don't
agree.
want her touching any of
Yeah,
this
no,
anymore.
not with those sequels.
And it's
They
not
were
like, and
No.
I know we could say this or another, it's not like the sequels, like, they didn't explain enough, and the storytelling was just terrible.
mm-hmm.
It was
And the
horrible.
parts that they did explain
Wasn't enough, you know?
wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And then on top of that,
Well,
they let.
yeah.
I could go on and on.
We could
Like,
all
Yeah, we
go
can go
on
on
and
I
on.
just want to
forever.
say
On
one
and on
thing.
forever.
They set up characters and then failed to execute them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, like me and Ben always said on this show, they didn't have a plan. They had no plan.
No.
Yeah.
They never had a
I
plan. They
remember him
didn't have a
saying
plan.
that. Yep.
They did not have a plan. And that's what
Like,
it
you,
boils down to.
Poe and Finn are my biggest qualms.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Finn and Poe. That's just the sucky thing about it. I
Yeah.
really thought we were going to get another big three with them, and just
Yeah,
did
no,
not.
they set them
Okay.
up to be the new, like, Han. Okay, before we get
Yeah.
Yeah,
into
because
that,
I'm like,
No,
let's
'cause I
not
can
do
go
this
forever.
because I'm going to
I can go
continue
forever on the
on. I'm like
sequels.
starting to itch. I'm like, let's not do this now, guys.
all right, guys, final thoughts on these two episodes, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
8 was great. 9, not so much. Just
Yeah.
more filler. Need more content. I need more context to what's going on in the season, and I need to know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think I agree completely too. Yeah. I think I have nothing to say bad about 8, 9.
Another filler.
It just they literally bunted the ball to right to the pitcher.
I didn't
I don't know
I
what
didn't
was
hate
going on.
9.
I didn't hate it, but also, like I said,
No,
I still could have done without it.
I think it's because
Again,
I
I
like the
think because
planet
it follows
in the
these,
beginning.
yeah, because it follows these 2 episodes that I like so much and are really good.
It's hard to
It's
hate
just
it.
like, this is
Yeah,
like, come
yeah.
on, like, why are we getting this
Yeah.
now? So it's a
We'll see.
momentum. You know what I mean? Like when you're watching it, this would be like you're in the middle of, everything's going great, and then they just give you like this. It's like, what? I don't want this.
It's like
episode.
up
I don't want
here,
this.
and
I
then
don't
it
want
just
this. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, especially like we've talked about already, it's the filler episodes that have already come before this, where you feel like they're on a good momentum, and then they just kind of crap it again. It's like,
I
Yeah.
kind of like this a little more than the other filler episodes. I feel like it. I felt
I
like it
agree
was
with that.
important to show how they were I guess how Amigo was feeling after
Yeah.
Echo left. But
I still love Omega. And I still think we're going to get Omega and Boba Fett. I still think we're getting a live action Omega and Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Probably.
I still think so.
But I still, to be honest, I still wouldn't rank 9
Get the
in my
Hemsworth
top
sister.
4.
Get the Hemsworth sister to play her. Why not?
I'm dead.
They're
Alrighty,
all in everything
guys.
else.
Anything else? If not, I guess we can go ahead and wrap up for the night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. You guys want to tell the fans where they can find you?
I am on Instagram now at Padawan Frito. You can reach me there. You can catch me here on Wednesday on the Jedi Academy. Sundays on our weekly Geekdom show. I've been stepping in on Friday nights some nights, and any review that we do here.
Awesome. Yep, you guys can find me on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. You can find me in the Facebook groups Multiverse of Geekdom and the Benverse. You guys can find me here on Mondays for Geekdom Initiative, Tuesdays Fellowship of the Geekdom, Wednesdays Jedi Academy, Fridays Weekly Geekdom, and Sundays Geekdom Uncut.
You guys can find me here Friday nights on the show and Sunday nights as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Like and subscribe on our journey to 1,000 subs.
Absolutely,
Hell yeah.
guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
May the force be with you.